Alright guys, welcome. This is Scott again from Beyond WDW Travel. I wanted to give you a little tour of EPCOT. Yesterday we discussed the Magic Kingdom. Today we're going to discuss EPCOT. There are a few big rides in EPCOT. Mostly though, EPCOT is shopping and dining. Two parts of EPCOT really. You have, get my pen on here. Okay, anything here opens at 11 o'clock. Anything here opens at 9 o'clock, or whenever the park opens. So these X's you see here are your popular attractions. The most popular being, well, there's a few of them really. The newest one is Frozen Ever After in Norway, and that is one that people I think are going to go for first. This is an old map because a lot of stuff has been taken out because of their total revamping of EPCOT. So it may not be totally and completely accurate, but you get the picture. Test Track is the other one that's really popular. Spaceship Earth can be at times, and then you have, let's see, number 12 is Soaring. Okay, right here. Soarin' is right here. That's another popular one right there. So the three that I've circled there, Test Track, Soarin', and Frozen Ever After, I would try to get fast passes for one of those. You cannot get fast passes for all of them. They're on a different tier. So if you choose Test Track, you'll see that Frozen Ever After is going to go away. Things like that. This is also popular now that it's been redone, Mission Space. But you can see here versus our conversation yesterday that everything's kind of in a more flow, an even flow, if you will. So you could, do this and then come around and do that. Or if you're not really big on the whole 3D flying effect, you could just continue on down your trail to Frozen Ever After. Frozen is, out of these three, I would say Mission Space, being the newest, because it's been redone, actually, is the one you probably should try for. If you can get the other two, great, but honestly, these four that I've circled are really worth the wait. After 11 a.m., you can start making your way through the different worlds around and make your way out. But there's plenty to do in each of the different worlds. There's a variety of culture, shopping and dining. One of my favorite is to watch the mime in Italy. He's hilarious. If you've never been, it's worth a look. It's totally free. You have, last I was there, there's a little ride involving Donald Duck and the Three Amigos here in Mexico. Totally worth it. If you're into a lot of shopping and Disney merchandise and souvenirs and just letting loose, this is the place to go. Also, Food and Wine Festival does go in EPCOT. That's where they hold it. It doesn't cost anything extra to get in, but it does cost you per thing that you try. A lot of different food that you would not normally see, but if you want authentic food from various countries, this is the place to get it, because Disney only brings in people from that country to work in that pavilion. I know during the Food and Wine Festival there's a breakfast over here in France I've been dying to try, but with us being weekday pass holders, we would have to actually pay to get into EPCOT to go to do that, and I don't want it that bad. But EPCOT is a park I like to tell clients to reserve for a day. You just kind of want to chill. Like I said, there's really only the four big rides that you really want to try to get, and so as yesterday, sit down, get everybody's opinion, what they want to do, what they're looking to do, what's important to them, and then make up a list and figure out what you want to do. But EPCOT, you can really be in most of the day. You can afford to wait a little bit more. With Test Track, if you actually want to do and clear the screen, test track. If you actually want to do, I'll abbreviate it, single rider line, even if you're a family of 4, you may not get the same car, but your wait time will be done probably half the time. So if wait time is posted at, we'll say 60 minutes, the single rider line probably be 20 to 40 at the most. That's one way to really do it. You may even have that option. I've only done Soarin' once, and it was like in 2006. But over here in Soarin', you may have that single rider option. As far as I know, that is it. Again, Frozen Ever After and Mission Space are really, really popular. So if you can try to get those, you're all set. Frozen Ever After does resemble, as far as the ride track goes, the old ride in Norway, but they've really done a good job with it. I don't want to be a spoiler alert here, but you'll have fun. You'll have fun. Soarin' is an excellent ride for giving that feeling like you're just flying through the air. Now, the tracks, or I should say the seat is on a track. So when you come in, let me clear the screen here. When you come in, the seats are going to be like this, you know, and they're going to be in a row going that way. What happens though is this seat, you think, because here's the screen, you think that this is going to be the closest one. So if you're not really a fan of heights, you want to try to get over here, because this seat is going to, let me draw the seat, the screen. This seat is actually going to go up like this, and then the other seats will follow. So this one that was in the back will be lower as far as to the ground than the first seat up top. We made that mistake before, and it's a little freaky. Mission Space is worth it. If you have heart problems or health conditions or expecting, not probably advisable. Test track is test track. I mean, I hope they really keep it for like a long time, because it was a lot of fun for me. You really get some speed. They clock you. I mean, our last one I think was like 65 and some change, almost 66 miles an hour. And then after that, you've got the worlds here to explore. My recommendations, like for food and other things, is really based on taste, but I can tell you some of my favorites, and maybe you can go from there. We'll start in Mexico. I had a small lunch at the quick service one, so you walk up. I haven't sitting down at that one, so we'll X that off because it's not really a fair thing. I have not done Norway. I have not eaten at China, although my friend has, and he said it was super good, so we'll give it a smiley. We did eat at the buffet in Germany, from recommendation of a previous client. You have to like German food. If you do, I'll give a smiley face. We did eat in Italy, smiley face. I've done dinner and lunch at Italy. Dinner's way better. If you're on a dining plan, don't waste your sit-down table service. You know, you do want to try and use one of your dining plan credits, or some of them, or all of them, whatever, here at EPCOT, because you're going to get some really tasty, authentic food. Next stop, we did eat in Japan at the quick service. We have not done Morocco, but it's on the list. We have eaten at Chefs de France. Really enjoyed that. I'm going to circle that because that was my favorite. We had fish and chips at the Rose and Crown. Walk up, you get it, the quick service, so that was definitely excellent. And I've not tried Le Cellier in Canada, but everyone says it is a must. If you like steak, that has to be a must stop. That is one. Actually, I take that back. We had lunch there in 2006. I do remember enjoying that quite a bit. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. So really, that's about it. Epcot is kind of a lay low kind of park. Um, it's on a scale of 1 to 10, being 10 being the most kid friendly. Um, and I'm also going to mention this after this, but I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely not even appropriate for kids, and 10 being, yeah, absolutely. I will go because there's a lot of kids stuff there, like Finding Nemo and stuff. But I'm going to say kids are probably going to be bored fairly quickly. So unless they like to shop and browse and eat ice cream and just kind of look around and eat, and they enjoy eating, absolutely. But I would say Epcot's one of those, especially if you have a park hopper, you can go ahead and get those big rides out of the way and then move on somewhere else if you don't have any interest in this down here. It could also be one of those for a family of 4 that chooses to do, say, another park and then come into Epcot for dinner. That is totally doable. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 7. Just because kids will get bored fairly easily and fairly quickly. And let me also mention this. If you take your kids to Magic Kingdom on the first day, you're going to set the expectations very, very low for the rest of the trip. You need to save Magic Kingdom for last, because they're going to walk in and they're going to go, wow. And you're going to take them to someplace like Epcot. Again, there's nothing wrong with Epcot. I'm not trashing it. But it's not going to be the same. Neither is Hollywood or Animal Kingdom. So I would do any of the other 3 parks in any particular order. That's totally up to you. But I would save Magic Kingdom for last. Because you're going to set that expectation way too high for the rest of the parks. And if you have kids with high expectations, that might just kind of ruin the flow. So that is definitely my biggest piece of advice, is save Magic Kingdom for last. But you can download this map. It is not current, but you can download this map. As soon as I get a current one, I'll replace it, but it's pretty accurate. You can take a look at it. You can do a lot of YouTube search on some of these things. But again, my favorite restaurant, geez, it's tied. I mean, I enjoyed all of them. But for a lunch, I'm going to have to go with United Kingdom. Fish and chips was amazing. And for dinner, I'm going to have to do France. I love the way the food is, the atmosphere, the decor of the restaurant. It's just a different vibe in my mouth. Like I said, Italy was great. I had lunch in Italy. It almost felt to me, I'll be honest with you, it almost felt to me like it was already prepared and just kind of scooped out of a pan and put on a plate. And didn't have the same experience that I had when I went in 2006. So, would I go back? Absolutely, but for dinner. Italy, all these worlds have multiple restaurants too. I'm not just speaking of the one. Like Italy has a pizza place, they have a wine place, they have the sit-down Italian place. So there's different options there. Germany, I think, is just the one, but they may have a walk-up where you can get like comfort food. If you're looking for beer, well, most people, I'll be honest with you, adults anyway, they drink around the world. So they start in Mexico, and they get the margaritas, and they make their way around the world, and by the time they get past Canada, they're walking like this. But if you want good beer, Germany is the place to go. If you are a wine connoisseur, obviously we want to do Italy, but Canada and France have good wine. Sake, genuine sake, right there, buddy. Each pavilion has its own specialty drink that you can definitely enjoy. However, my favorite, if I were going to do it, I'm going to go with Germany on that one. Great beer, great prices. It just, to me, I enjoy it. What else can I tell you? Oh, there is Mouse Gear, number 9, right there. As you walk in, a great store for shopping. a lot of Disney authenticated stuff. You know, this typical souvenir stuff. If that's where you want to go, then yes. But all of these places have unique spots. If I remember correctly, Germany has beer steins. Let's see, France, there's a spot where you can get a little tower, Eiffel Tower. It's been a long day, I do apologize. So you can get country themed souvenirs in each of these here. But if you just want the Disney stuff, but you want a big store, you gotta do Mouse Gears. We can't go in without stopping. Most of the stuff we have seen, but we still stop and take a look anyway. There's also some shopping out here, I believe, or in here, one of the two, as you're just coming in. Not as great of a selection, but you can. Nice thing about EPCOT is it is a monorail's ride to the Ticketing and Transportation Center, so you can connect to the monorail to go to the resorts, Polynesian, Grand Floridian, and Contemporary. You can also go back to the Magic Kingdom. So you just walk out to the monorail station right there, it takes you to the TTC. You get off that monorail, go down the ramp, go back up the steps to the other one, you wait on it, and it takes you to the rest of the spots. No cars needed. Tomorrow I think we're going to talk about the various passes that you can get, the season passes, if you like to go to Disney more than once a year. And I do want to show, as soon as I get my mouse to work, I do want to show, real quick, we'll kind of cover Disney Springs in here too. Only because Disney Springs is one of those you can definitely go to anytime. There's no cost to get in. But Disney Springs can be confusing, and I'm going to lead this into what we were talking about with possibly getting a season pass, especially if we're going to go multiple times a year or even twice a year. It already pays for that already. So when you get the season pass, there are a couple of them that you can get. You do have to still be a Florida resident for some of them, but some of them you don't have to be. You can be an annual pass holder with any ID. My friends have Louisiana ID, and they're fine. They have the Platinum Plus. They're great. But you're going to pick that up right here. Whoops, turn the pen on. Right there. Guest services. Here's the thing though, parking as you're coming down the street, Disney Springs can be very confusing. And see, like right here is the Uber lot. But you're gonna, I'm trying to think where, okay, World of Disney, alright. So here's the thing, is that they've got stores separated on both sides, and Disney Springs is not a short walk, but you have World of Disney, which is my favorite one, and then in the same area they have the Christmas store, which I love. They have the Art of Disney. I could do some serious damage in that store. Still eyeballing this ceramic Donald Duck that he's like $80, but I'm gonna get him. I love Donald Duck, but that's just me. But all your Disney themed stuff is right here. I believe, I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to think, where is, you can ride the cars so that they're drivable cars. I think it's in this area. They look like old 50s style cars, and then they just drive them into the water and they float. Pretty cool. Your buses and stuff are going to be right here, but Disney Springs is kind of a U. And so if you want the Disney stuff, you got to be on this side. If you want the designer stuff, the Ray-Ban and all the other stuff, you got to be over here. But Disney Springs is a nice walk, but there's no admission charge. Obviously, it's all shopping and dining, and it can be very confusing. So when you're parking, that is the thing. My dogs are having a little fun. When you're parking, you need to be very careful where you're going, because, well, before we started going, these garages weren't here. But if you want to do the World of Disney and you want the Disney themed stuff and the Ghirardelli chocolate store and things like that, you want the Lime garage. And if you want the designer stuff, because we basically divide this in half here, you want the designer stuff, the swimwear, the shoes, the sunglasses, the expensive, overpriced stuff, in my opinion. I'm not trashing it, I'm just being honest. You want the orange garage, and then both of them are going to let you out right there, okay? But you're going to be a long walk from the other end. You can do it, take your time, but there's, as you can see, a lot of stores in between this side and that side. We like to do this side here because those are where my favorite stores are. So if you're planning on visiting Disney Springs, like say after the park, or you know, half the family wants to nap, the other half is like raring to go, I encourage you to, see that's what serious shopping is what I should have called it. I encourage you to download this map, look at it, check out, okay, let's give you an example. Let's say we're looking at this map and I'll just pick stores at random. I want to do a little mismatch, so that's 118. So we're going to go over here and we're going to look for 118. I'm going to take my red or blue marker pen and I'm going to check it. All right, and then let's just say World of Disney, of course, and let's pick number 8 or 5 actually, since that's the one I saw right here. And then let's see, there's a number 4 store, so that's right next to it. That's not really number 13, that'll work. And then let's pick something number 41, whatever that is. Let me see, 42. What is 41? Is the boathouse. Okay, perfect. So that's actually where the driving cars are right there. So there's a restaurant. Let's say you want to eat over in that general direction. But as you can see, we've already spread ourselves out all over Disney Springs. You're going to plan on being there a few hours. So the majority of what we want to see, and this is what's going to determine where you park your car. In my professional opinion, you want to park your car, I'm thinking either, well, there's 2 ways to do it. The majority of what we want to see is on this end, so we're going to, I would say, either pick the Lime garage and make your way around. It's not too bad of a walk. Have your lunch, etc. You can get back in your car and drive over to the orange garage if you want, or that's actually a really good idea. Or you can go over here to this neck of the woods and do the 2 stores and see what else you want to do and just turn around and make your way back. But you want to kind of park your car central to where the majority of what you're going to see is, so that when you're ready to leave you can get in the car and go. There's also an outside lot which we usually end up getting stuck in. I believe it's in one of these 2 here, and we end up always, every time, I don't know why, it slips our mind, but every single time we end up over here, and we end up having to walk all the way back over here. I don't know why we don't just park in the garage, but it's still so new to us because we're just used to this wide open lot. This water tower is a good indication. It's literally right in between orange and lime. So if you can find the water tower and make your way over there, then you'll know, at least, because when you get in there it's not easy to navigate. There's an outside road and there's guards telling you go here, go there, whatever. So the water tower is kind of like your halfway point between the serious shopping and the fun shopping. The water tower to the right is the lime and to the left is the orange. But like I said, once you come down, it puts you right out in the heart of all of it. So I hope that was a little bit helpful. Comment below and tell me what you want me to talk about. Any other destinations you want to know about, we can do that too. There's also ferries that will take you back and forth between this side and that side. It's helpful, especially if it's hot and you're tired and you just kind of want to do whatever. There's Saratoga Springs is right by Disney Springs, so if you wish to stay there, it's a wonderful place to stay. One of those things, like I said, half the group is tired, half the group is ready to go. There you go, you're there. Um, and then there's also a walking bridge that you can cross that takes you to some of the other ones like the Hilton, Disney Springs, the Buena Vista Palace, what else is over there? The Wyndham. There's a whole bunch of hotels over here that aren't showing, but you just walk across the street and then you can find your hotel. There's many of them, the Holiday Inn, that are all within walking distance to Disney Springs. So even if you're not going to the parks, you just want to do Disney Springs and stay over, ask us about the hotels in that area. They have awesome rates. You can just leave your car parked right there in the lot. Most of them do charge for parking, but you can leave your car parked right there and just walk right over to Disney Springs, spend the day. There's a burger place I want to tell you about. What is the name of it? Jeez, it's been a while since we've been over there. I'll find it. Just give me a minute. Deluxe Burger, right, and it's spelled like this. Deluxe. Like that. Oh, I'm sorry, with an E. Awesome, 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 awesome. You can do it on the mobile app too. You can take your phone out, do your order, and then go over there and pick it up. But they're reasonably priced. The burgers are great. They're huge. You'll fill up. Food in Disney Springs is unique. I'll give you that. It is unique. If you trade pins, I just spotted that. I trade pins. One of these days I'll actually show you my pins. I don't have a lot compared to some people, but there's a pin trading station that has a whole variety of pins, and I usually spend 30 minutes or so in there looking at each one and seeing which one is new, which one I need, and it's fun for me. Everyone goes to Disney for different reasons. Some of them are just like, pounding the pavement. They got to get all that stuff done, and others are like me. I'm going to do what I'm going to do when I get in there. If I see it, I'm going to do it. Otherwise, I'm moving on. They do have a Coca-Cola store too. If you're big into Coca-Cola merchandise, great place to go. So anyway, I hope that helped. I'm going to sign off for now. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. I do appreciate your listening to me. And tomorrow, like I said, we're going to cover the season passes, and we will probably cover Hollywood Studios. So I'll see you all tomorrow.